Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're tackling a sacred cow in personal finance, compound interest. You've probably heard it called the eighth wonder of the world, or the fastest way to grow your money without doing anything. But what if it's not all it's cracked up to be? In this video, we'll dive into the reasons why compound interest might be overhyped and what you should consider before relying on it to build wealth. I'm not saying compound interest is useless. It's obviously powerful in many situations. But there's always more to the story. First, let's outline the basics. Compound interest means you earn interest on your principal plus the accumulated interest over time. For example, if you invest $1,000 at 5% annually, you get $50 in interest the first year. Next year, you're earning 5% on $1,050 and so on. This snowball effect can accelerate growth, especially if you keep reinvesting. It sounds great, and it can be. Many financial experts will tell you, start early, let compound interest do the work. But we rarely talk about why your returns might not be as big as the hype suggests. If you're planning your entire financial future around an assumption of consistent 7 or 8% returns, you could be in for a shock, especially if real-world conditions don't match the textbook examples. Now let's dig into what could dull that magical glow. Number 1, fees. If you're investing in certain funds or retirement plans, management fees can drastically cut into your returns. Even a 1% annual fee eats into the compounding effect over decades. That might not sound like much, but over 30 or 40 years, it can cost you tens of thousands of dollars you thought you'd have. Number 2, taxes. When your money grows, so do your tax obligations, unless you're in a tax-sheltered account. If you're investing outside of something like a Roth IRA or 401k, capital gains tax or taxes on dividends can be a rude awakening. Suddenly, a significant chunk of your growth isn't actually going into your pocket, it's going to Uncle Sam. And that means your compound interest is more like compound interest minus fees, minus taxes. That's far less exciting than the glossy charts make it look. We can't talk about compound interest without talking about time. Compounding is most effective over long stretches. Think 20, 30, 40 years. The whole idea is that money compounds exponentially, but you often need decades to see the dramatic effects you see in hypothetical charts. What if you don't have that kind of time? Or what if you prefer to enjoy more of your money earlier in life, rather than focusing on the payout when you're 65 or 70? This ties into opportunity cost. Every dollar you lock away for slow, steady growth is a dollar you're not investing elsewhere. Maybe you want to start a business, invest in real estate, or put money into your own professional development to earn a higher salary sooner. If your goal is faster financial freedom, letting compound interest slowly build might not give you the returns you need in a reasonable timeline. By focusing too heavily on compounding, you might miss out on potentially more lucrative opportunities. Another factor that people often underestimate is inflation. Even if you manage to score 5 to 7% returns annually, inflation could be running at 2, 3, or even higher percentages, effectively shrinking your real returns. If you see a chart showing your money growing from $10,000 to $100,000 over 30 years, that might seem huge. But when you factor in cost of living increases, that $100,000 won't buy nearly as much as it does today. Historically, we've had periods of very high inflation. In those times, typical fixed income products or even certain stock market investments might not keep pace, and your compound growth might just be treading water in terms of actual purchasing power. So should you completely ignore compound interest? Of course not. But it's important to view it as one tool in your toolbox, not a magical solution that guarantees wealth. It's a powerful concept, and starting early does help if you're consistent. Just remember that fees and taxes can erode your gains, that you need a lot of time for compounding to really shine. That opportunity cost can be significant if you're ignoring other high-yield or entrepreneurial options. And that inflation can eat into your real returns, making that final big number less valuable. Maybe you'll decide to keep a portion of your money in long-term investments while also exploring other ways to grow your income or build wealth faster. The key is to go into it with your eyes open. If this video helped you see compound interest in a new light or made you question the classic advice, give it a like and don't forget to subscribe. Let me know in the comments. Have you ever felt let down by the real returns on your investments once fees, taxes, and inflation came into play? I'd love to hear your stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.